Today I want to finish up or at least work on what I started last week, which was the pine cones. And need to get the image so I can see it. And what I wanted to do is, you got this painting that I started, which is an underpainting, but it really needs a lot more definition. And I completely lost one of the pine cones. So I'm going to come back in. And first of all, see if I can. I did a little bit of a drawing there so I can see where it is, but I need to come back in now and bring a little more, want to do kind of an underpainting of the orange. And let's see, I think I'll start with a little quinacridone gold underneath in this section here. I should leave a few little white dots though. Let me get my brisket. Because I want to have some of these little dots of lighter tones on the pine, on the cone. I took the frisket off that I had on there. And then because it came out in kind of a blob, I'm going to go like that. I took off some of it, maybe flatten some of it, but that's okay. So I'm going to come and do a glaze of this quinacridone gold over where I want the pine cone. And then drop it in a few other places too. I wasn't being very careful about the shape when I did the underpainting. So this is quinacridone sienna, I think. Okay, so now one of the things I wanted to do is start to define some of the pine needles and get that going, and then I'll come back in. I want to just try a few things because it's an experiment for me, but um, I've got this brush I have never used. It's my rosemary brush with this long skinny point. So I'm going to use it now. I'm going to try to put in some greens. Now I'm looking at the green and I think I'll do sort of a, getting a little bit of a hooker's green. A little bit of perylene also, and I'm going to just try to bring it out, bring out some needles. The effect of needles, I think I need more pigment. I'm gonna add a little bit of cobalt blue here. Not quite dark enough. Maybe it's because it's so skinny. I think I'll try my long round. Mhm. This is complex. I don't know how you guys who did this did it, and honestly. All these needles go every which way.
That just gives you more freedom.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little darker in here. Okay, I want to start coming back in with the pine cones too, so I get a little bit of a darker and lighter area established. Let's see if I can see where these segments are. Mhm. I'm just giving an impression because it's too complicated to get real, you know, realistic. Mhm. I'm rushing things a little bit is because I'm experimenting, so I want to try what Shelley did also with her corrugated cardboard. See, what did I do with it? I had it here, a piece of it. Oh, here, under my computer, of course. Hmm. Well, I've got the perfect thing here. It's my cat's scratching thing. Yeah, my cat's scratching pad. I'll just take off a piece of it. Shelley, I don't have the knack yet. It's pretty neat what it happens when you have to get the right consistency. I'm gonna put some on a pine cone too. Let me get my water out of the way.
That's looking really nice, Sylvia.
Kind of a mess though, isn't it?
I like it.
I don't think it's a mess. I think it looks cool.
Okay.
I'm always impressed with how you can make things look so good.
Well, you know what the secret is? Never give up.
Yeah.
I remember, there have been things that I wasn't sure I could do, like remodeling the upstairs of my Victorian house on Vashon. And then I remember telling myself, well, if a man can do it, I can do it too.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just that you can't give up. I
That's
kind of like this roughness, it's that cardboard created kind of that rough effect. I'm going to spatter too.
that's great.
I think that's coming out great.
If you don't look too closely. Okay, it needs some more dark, so let me look and see where I want to put those. So I'm getting some quinac or some dioxazine violet and I'm mixing it with some quinacridone sienna. I need to soften some of these. I also got my gouache because I thought, since I'm experimenting, I could just come back in with some gouache on some of it too. So I've got my box of Winsor Newton gouache. And I think I'll take my Spectrum Red, which is a warm red. And my Permanent Yellow Deep. And I want to add a little white to it too. Now I want to come back in on some of on the pine cone and bring out some of the shapes of these segments. I have to get darker behind the pine cones. Kind of like this violet in here. I'm going to put in some violet, more violet. Yeah, a little bit of manganese blue with some perylene green in here too. I have to knock down more of the white because I want some of the snow to stand out more. So I've got to get rid of some of this white. Oops. Getting a more gouache. Yeah, I think I'll try it on with some of the green on it too. Just a little bit of wash with this green. Not quite dark enough.
Sylvia, the green with the blue really freshens up the background. I
Oh.
really like it.
Thanks. You know what's fun is you see the texture on this cardboard. When I put it on, even though it's wider than a pine needle,
Mhm.
it leaves the white of the paper underneath and it gives this effect.
Mhm.
It's kind of like snow.
Mhm. It's layering.
Yeah. So if you have extra cat scratchers, you know, the kind that gets all shreds all over the place, the cardboard one. Okay, so now my pine cone needs a little bit of work. Okay, now I have to figure out what to do about some of these frisketed places. I think they needed to make to look a little more like their pine needles, so
Just amazing to me that you can conjure this out of your imagination.
Well, yeah, I have a very active mind.
God, it just, I used to think I knew how to approach art, but
Well, you do.
I used to. I don't know.
You do, Tim. You need to do it again, and then you'll regain your confidence.
Yeah, oh well. Anyway.
Or just have fun. That's half of it. Don't take it too
Yeah, yeah.
seriously. We get too serious.
That's for sure.
We need to have fun.
And now maybe it's the time to use that rosemary brush.
How do you keep your gouache how do you keep it white? Mine like is turning the color of the paint underneath. I guess I have to wait to put it on.
You just don't put it on more than one stroke.
Well, I think it's just taking on, I think it's too wet, I
Oh,
think.
yeah. If it's wet, that's what
Yeah.
will happen. Right. Mhm.
It's looking really good, Sylvia.
Oh my, really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Need to take a step back, then you can really see it.
yeah, it's really nice. I like your points of darkness.
Here's the new brush.
There
Yeah,
it
this
is.
is the new brush.
We're all buying one so we can paint like you.
Yeah,
Well, this is the first time I've ever used it. I'm trying to figure out. It's so skinny, but I guess you can press down and get a thicker line, right?
Find out.
Yeah, I do need to look at all the whites. Okay. So the problem I have with some of the pine cones is that I don't have the outer edges defined as well as they should be. I think part of the problem is I painted them as kind of a circle instead of with the indentations. Maybe I can come back in now and fix that with some gouache. I really love this manganese blue hue. So now I wanted to make it look like there's some snow on some of these needles, but I've got it's so much texture, I don't think it's going to really make any difference. It's more like a directed spatter. Gives the effect, even if it's not on the right thing. When it's snowing a lot, you really can't see detail, you know.
That's right. Like on my poor bunny, I had giant clumps.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, I'm going to stop now. The last thing I was thinking of doing was coming back with some pastel. You know, like on the pine cones. I got the pastel. Where did I put it?
Very nice. It looks like it's just been snowing.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Different sizes of the snow blots look good too.
Okay, so here's all of my pastels. And I want to put in a little touch of a more of an orangey tone on the pine cones. So
Are there different grades of pastels?
well,
Like
they're
there are
hard and
watercolors?
soft, hard and soft.
Do they have like student grade and professional?
Yes.
There are?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like I have a box in my garage that's been there for probably 30 years.
Okay.
So I'll
I
dig it
don't
out.
think they go bad. I think they stay pretty good, don't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Huh.
But did they have different characteristics, you know?
Uh-huh.
Sennelier is good, for example, but it's just crumbly like crazy, you know? Schminke has a brand. I, I think the best quality one is the one Upson, Upson. I have an old Grumbacher set that I like.
Ooh, this should cure everybody of worrying about whether they're overworking things because you've worked this very richly and it's gorgeous.
Oh, good. I wouldn't say it's not overworked though.
It's not. It's richly worked, but it's gorgeous.
Here's something you can do, you know, when you put pastel on, you can still go back on over it with water. And you can kind of blend it in and soften it. It's kind of a fun thing to do. Okay, I'm going to stop for now. So let's see if I can get a closer look. Okay.